Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Dreaded Rose Report. Let's get on with the news, huh? Why else would you click this? Daniel Bryan, he's going to be working Raw live events on August 28th in Wildwood, New Jersey, and in there he's going to be having a match with John Cena and Chris Jericho, believe it or not, being on their side, taking on Nexus. Danielson was originally booked for an independent show that date in Long Island, New York. Undertaker, he's received medical clearance now, so he can begin working out again in the last few weeks. Taker's been nursing an orbital bone, among other injuries. Taker says is still experiencing some vision problem, just as late as this last month. He's also suffering a concussion in a match where Rey Mysterio broke his orbital bone, not on purpose. Come on. I think he got flung into the turnbuckle, if I remember right. Face first. Luke Gallows said on his Twitter account yesterday that this is very sad news. Luke Gallows said on his Twitter account yesterday that CM Punk will not be tweeting anything until he has 1 million followers. Isn't that just awful? Anyway, Punk can be found at Second City Savior. Oh, that's depressing. WWE has changed its lineup for the SmackDown show September 25th. Madison Square Garden. Here's what the new matches look like. We got Kane taking on Undertaker for the world title. Bret and Hart Dynasty, all three, maybe even four, taking on Nexus. Christian versus Matt Hardy versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC title. Big Show taking on Jack Swagger. CM Punk taking on Kofi Kingston. MVP taking on Cody Rhodes. And tag team action with Kelly and Rosa taking on Michelle McCool and Layla. Others on the show too is Alberto Del Rio, Chavo, Chris Masters, Drew McIntyre, Teddy Long, and a bunch of others. If that wasn't a bunch enough. Daniel Bryan, by the way, has changed his Twitter name to WWE Daniel Bryan. Who would have thought? There's a update confirming the roster of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 video game for you gamers. We got the usual bunch. The only thing new I see is Drew McIntyre, Eve, Melina, and Nexus is on there. Raw brand is right now currently in Hawaii for a show today in Honolulu. The Raw stars enjoyed some free time off yesterday. Dark match after last night's SmackDown taping. We didn't see Kane defeat Jack Swagger and Rey Mysterio in a cage after the match. Undertaker came in, fought with Kane. Kane ran and Swagger ended up attacking Taker, I guess. Taker hit Swagger with the tombstone to end the show, made everybody happier than heck. Okay, here's the current release dates for upcoming WWE studio releases. Please make a note of it. Legendary, starring John Cena, is going to be out September 10th. Knucklehead with Big Show is going to be October 22nd. Chaperone with Triple H is going to be February 2011. That's What I Am, formerly was called Big Red, with Randy Orton is going to be April 2011. Inside Out, formerly Killing Karma with Triple H, is going to be late in 2011. Make a note of it if you want. I'd lose the note by tomorrow anyway. WWE is going to be taping next week's Nexus and SmackDown tonight in Fresno, California at the Save-Mart Center. Looks like a lineup of Rey Mysterio taking on Kane and taking on Jack Swagger. This cage match, which I just told you about. I don't know why it's on there twice, but the following matches were taped for this week's WWE Superstars on Monday and Tuesday nights, it said. Oh, that's right, they taped two double taping. Anyways, MVP taking on Vance Archer, Jack Swagger taking on Chris Masters, William Regal versus Goldust, Primo taking on Yoshitatsu. Following matches were taped for Friday Night SmackDown next week. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler, Serena and Luke Gallows takes on Kelly and Big Show. Christian versus Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio. According to the Connecticut Post, Linda McMahon was asked last week by reporters if she knew the late Lance Cade. And Linda says, I might have met him once. Linda said WWE can do no more to be held accountable for the deaths of talent than a studio could have presented Heath Ledger's death. who knows what what causes people to have addictions and do what they do, which is true, except psychiatrists, they know why, but I don't think they can do anything about it. They try. PWI Insider noted that WWE has revised the diva casting call. Didn't know if you knew that. To demonstrate interest in only women 18 to 25. Somebody didn't read my mail. According to mobile sources, WWE Raw scored a 3.3 cable rating. Media Week added that the show averaged 4.78 million viewers and 1.65 coveted adults 18 to 49 demographic, which is where they want to mainly concentrate on. Alright, Showtime, Percy Watson, and Husky Harris were eliminated on Nexus this week. Remaining is Michael McGillicuddy, Alex Riley, Cavill, all of whom has been viewed as favorites for several weeks. The WWE diva Melina has been on the short list of the top 50 most beautiful celebs for Portrait magazines. I get that every day. After fans submitted their nominations for the current Diva champion, she has been selected alongside celebrities such as Megan Fox, Miley Cyrus, to feature in an article about celebrities, show inners, and outer beauty. Voting closes late in September, and the link is portraitmagazine.net. Check it out and vote if you want. Alright, the Honky Tonk Man is back with an official HTM podcast, only available at www.honkytonkman.net. Anyway, this week, the greatest intercontinental champion of all time shoots on Bubba the Love Sponge and gives a sneak peek into something special coming soon just for Bubba. Could be a bomb. Check out Shake Rattle Row at Honky Tonk. Anyway, from Neil Jones, Brian Blair, and Mikey Whitbread live tonight on IYH. Anyway, the open show with B. Brian Blair. I'm not sure what IYH is. Should have spelled it out. Alright. Rey Mysterio opens SmackDown, talks. This is a little bit of the spoiler for SmackDown. It ain't a little bit, it's the whole damn thing, come think of it. You don't want to hear it, better unclick. Otherwise, Rey Mysterio opens SmackDown and talks about SummerSlam. I'm going to go until I run out of time. Alberto Del Rio comes out and puts down Rey like he had talked in his promos. Rey challenges Del Rio to a match and is 619s him after challenging him. Isn't that nice of him? Kofi Kingston, he beats Dolph Ziggler by DQ in a match with the IC title. There's a segment with Le Coup and Hornswoggle. I wonder what happened to him. Anyway, there's other segments too, but it's later. Serena and Luke Gallows beats Big Show and Kelly Kelly. If Serena and Luke lost, they would have to be kicked out of the SCS. Serena pinned Kelly after the GTS. Christian beats Drew McIntyre after the match. Cody Rhodes comes down and Drew helped him beat Christian up. Well, he probably needs help, I guess. Kane cuts a promo on Undertaker. Kane said, I get awful tired of hearing Kane ranting and raving. It sounds like a preacher from the dark side. Whew, it's old. Anyway, cuts a promo on Taker. And Kane said he had planned the attack on his brother for years. Alberto Del Rio, you ain't going to believe this, beats Rey Mysterio in the main event by a submission. Alberto won a good match by making Rey tap out with some sort of arm hold. That's all it says. It's an arm hold. This is a little bit of info that Paul Heyman spit it out on an interview. Just finishing out this thing. Anyway, Heyman said he brought the conversation of popularity of MMA to Vince McMahon back in 2006, and that Shane McMahon also did the same. He said WWE wasn't a place where it was to encourage to speak truth and power. Stephanie McMahon had even discussed utilizing some successful aspects to Vince before, but they all get kind of put down. I think I've run out of time. Thanks for clicking. I gotta go.